Hello, this is 5 Minute Motivation, and I am Shayla L. Bennett. Thank you for joining me. We have been talking about what would you do if you really weren't afraid. I have really been challenged by this series because what it has helped me to do is evaluate and really ask myself, not just what would you do if you weren't afraid, but what would you really do? Like, get to the core of what would you really do. And this is what I've realized. If I really weren't afraid, there were some things that I would take on that I normally wouldn't. But in order to get to that place, I had to dig up. I had to uproot what it was that I was afraid of to begin with. I had to identify those things. I had to come to a concise conclusion about a concise conclusion about what it was that I was afraid of. And then once I got to that place, then I had to decide what I was going to do with what I had identified about what I was afraid of. So, having done that, I then now have to move to the next step in the process. And we have talked a little bit about that, but I really kind of wanted to unpack that for you because what I really want to do is to give you stepping stones for what to do. Today, I want to veer just a little bit, not by much, but just a little bit, and I want to talk about how to step through the process of fear. First, you really have to understand what fear is. And someone taught me this, so I'm going to teach it to you. Fear is feeling like you have the total responsibility for you, your life, what's happened to you, but realizing that somehow you have some limitations. There's some things you can't fully account for, you can't fully hold on to, you can't fully answer for. So, for example, in college, there were some things that I couldn't personally hold accountable for. I had some limitations, some constraints. There were some things that were within my realm of responsibility, but there were some things that were also outside of that. And I like to use the word grace. I have to give myself grace for the things that I that are just not within my wheelhouse to influence or to change or to make different. And that's what I'd like to have all of us do. Give yourself some grace. Understand that you are human. You can't account for everything. Everything that happened to you wasn't because of you. It wasn't always your fault. Sometimes you just have to say, it happened. But you also have to be able to find a way to relieve and release the thing that did occur to you. And so I really wanted to bring a very important resource to you. This is a resource that I have mentioned before, and I'm going to tell you why this resource is so important. A lot of times when we need to get things out, we don't always know how to do that. I know personally I have talked about journaling, and journaling is great. It is a great way to get things out, but we also need people. We need to be able to talk to someone, whether that's an official someone or a personal someone. But you need to know that that person is someone that is going to be good and beneficial for you. The book that I'm referencing is Safe People. It is by Dr. Henry Ford and Dr. John Townsend, and you'll recognize their names because they also wrote Boundaries. This is a book that personally someone I think maybe mentioned or said something to me about it. So when I saw it, I knew it. But this is a book that I know has helped me a great deal. It has been a tremendous blessing and help to my life. So I do highly recommend it. One of the first things that it says is how to find relationships that are good for you. And we all need that. We need relationships that are good for us, people that build us up. But you also need people that you can really talk to and you can really connect with. So along that line, as you are going through this process of identifying your fear and what is holding you back from the life you desire to live, this is where you want to begin to break old patterns. You want to be able to identify, hey, I've got this pattern of doing this, and I need to know kind of how to check myself on this, or how did this come about, or whatever, or even just see what the pattern is. And a safe person is a person that allows for you that you can talk to and talk with, and as you're talking, they're actually paying attention to you, they're paying attention with you, and they allow for you to balance those thoughts. They allow for you to share that, whatever that experience is, so that you are able to open up freely and completely and be who you really are. Very recently, I was going through and I was straightening up a room in the house, and in that particular room, I opened up some old pictures. I've had these pictures for a while. Love, love, love pictures. And when I opened up these pictures, these set of pictures have several pictures of me, but they have me in different poses and with different looks. And when I looked at the pictures, I thought, which one of these pictures reflects Shayla's honest, whole personality? Now, all of them reflect a aspect of me, and just like all of us, we have aspects or faces of our personality. But the personality that you are, your whole you, that's the one that you want to look for. When I looked at this picture was me all day long. This picture was who I am when I am my most true self. But it's probably not the picture that most people would think of. That's where you want to get to. That's where I think that we live, where we fully walk out our full life's purpose, and we're not letting fear drive our lives. It's not driving our decision making. It's not swaying the way that we walk, we talk, and we live. So, your challenge for today. Figure out who your safe people are. Who can you really go to and talk to? Who helps you in figuring out where you're going, your thought processes, and helps you to identify kinks in you, weird places, patterns that you may not even see, so that you can be your best self, and you can unpack your fears, and you can get to the place that you are your best self. I am Shayla L. Bennett, helping to motivate you to live your best life today. Thank you so much for joining me for another 5-minute motivation, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye, guys.